Mr. Laurent, good evening.
Good evening.
Kalispera.
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 Good evening, Mr. Laurent. First of all, we'd like to ask, where are you now? From where are we making this Zoom call?
I'm now in Paris. I traveled this morning to Paris from Cyprus because I was in your island for 1 week for some meetings and some scouting, let's say, sessions. So now I'm in my town. I'm in my country.
So you've been officially here with the club for almost a month now. What are your first impressions of the club?
Well, first I know Monia because, as you know, I was in Cyprus 5 years ago in Paphos. So I know it's a big club, big institution in the island. So I was not surprised when I entered into that club. But of course, my impression, because when you are out, it's a little bit different. But my impression was very fantastic. We see there are a lot of fans behind the team, behind the club, and it's something amazing. So it's a great and historical club with an amazing fan base.
Can you tell us? We need to get to know you a little bit better. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? What have you done in your career so far?
Okay, I'm involved in football since 22 years now. I started my career in Olympique Marseille. I was in the scouting department. Then I went to Paris Saint-Germain. It was in the beginning of the 21st century. It was in 2001-2002. For example, I was with Ronaldinho at this time in Paris Saint-Germain, so it was an amazing experience. Then I had a different experience in management in agency in France, in Paris. So I had a lot of connections everywhere in the world, and also in Europe. So that was very interesting for me to travel a lot and to discover different type of football. And after 10 years as an agent, I decided to come back to the club side. And I went to Nottingham Forest, where I was a scout for the academy, especially on the French territory, and especially in Paris area, which is one of the biggest in Europe. And then after Nottingham Forest, I went to Aris Thessaloniki. The club was in second division, and I was there like a sporting director with the president Karipidis. And after Aris, I went to Paphos. The first season that the team promoted in first division with the new owner, the Russian owner. I stayed 1 season there, so it was in 2017-18. And after that experience, I decided to come back to France. I had the opportunity to go to Grenoble, second league club, and I stayed 4 years there until September 2022. And last season, it was a little bit of break for me, just to decide and to see how I'm gonna continue my career, how I'm gonna work in that football business. And this summer, that opportunity with Omonia came, and to be honest, today it's for me it's a fantastic new experience in Cyprus.
I'd just like to ask you something. Realizing that you specialize mostly or a lot actually in French-speaking African countries and French-speaking generally countries in football, of course, which sounds good and promising because they are producing a lot of tons of talents in the last year, even in countries that didn't have tradition in football 10, 20 years ago.
That's true. Of course, I have very good knowledge and connections in the French-speaking countries like Belgium, France, Switzerland, also Morocco, Tunisia, and African, let's say, French-speaking countries like Senegal, Guinea. So yeah, I have let's say the best network there. But okay, I have, for example, also data set to know the Greek football, to know the Cyprus football. As I said before, the experience I had as an agent during 10 years was very important for me and for my career, because I had a lot of connections and I developed a lot of network all over Europe and even all over the world. Of course, I'm very proud about that, let's say, that cursus. But yes, let's say today my best asset is the French-speaking countries. Yeah.
Basically, it's been communicated by Omonia and the people responsible, for example, our sporting director and the scouts and the manager, that we're planning long term and we want to be a little bit more proactive when it comes to the transfers. With the transfer window opening soon, have you evaluated or monitored some players and for the new transfer window? And is there something that we can say about the upcoming transfer window of January?
Okay, first of all, for sure, Omonia now is engaged in let's say, a new process, a new professional process for the scouting department and for the scouting strategy. Jesper Jansson, the sporting director, is the leader, and also Simos Tarnapoulou as a chief scout is also important person in that process. As I said last week, I was in Cyprus to be with the whole team, the whole scouting team of Omonia, and it was very interesting. And of course, we evaluate a lot of players every day, you know, and as you mentioned, the most important thing is to anticipate and to prepare for a long-term strategy. I will not develop more about the strategy, because for us it has to be something not confidential, but it's a new process. So of course it's led by Jesper Jansson and Simos, but we are part of that process, and we know we are going to be more efficient for the club, not only for short term and for the next transfer window. The next transfer window is just one step in that process, but the most important is to have a long-term vision, long-term strategy.
You do have in mind that in Cyprus people love when they hear about long-term plans, but they never have the patience to wait about them, just in theory.
I know. It's a country. It's a Mediterranean country, yeah. So it was the same when I was in Greece. I understand the expectations about the fans. I understand that they want short-term results and short-term, let's say, developments. But you know, when you build a strong project and a long-term strategy, as I said, your next transfer window, yes, is important, but it's not the achievement. The achievement is to build on a 2, 3, 4, 5 years that kind of process. And why? Because we have to understand the final goal. The final goal will be to have a club consistent, to win titles and to be able to perform in Europe consistently, not to be like, let's say, a bracket or roller coaster. So that's the way the biggest clubs in Europe work, and we believe, and I'm sure Mr. Jansson has the vision, has the philosophy to set up that kind of process. That's the goal for Omonia now, and to be biggest club in terms of scouting strategy and scouting development.
You've mentioned that this is a teamwork that you're doing, and you're part of a team, but you on a personal level, what would you like to achieve in Omonia?
Okay, as I said, it's a teamwork, definitely, because football anyway is a teamwork, you know, on the pitch and on the back office. But okay, the achievement has to be collective. There is no individual goal at this point, to be honest. The most important is to, from my personal point of view, is to help this team with my knowledge, with my network, with my connections, to bring something, an added value, and to be able to contribute to the success of the club. and the success will be, as I said before, to win titles on the local league and the cup, and as well to be performant, to be consistently performant in Europe. I think this is a big goal for Omonia in the future. So I just want to be part of that and to bring an added value to the process and to the performance of the team.